Hello, my name is Joe Richter. I'm a real estate broker and an associate broker with Keller Williams Realty. I'm licensed in California and Oregon. I prepare monthly reports that look at the market trends in 14 communities from Newport to Woodbridge through Irvine and Trabuco Canyon. These reports can be accessed on our website at joe-richter.com under a navigation link named Market Trends Monthly Update. Each report takes a focused look at a specific community or neighborhood. The goals are to establish and monitor home values, to define the market type as either a seller or buyer, and to set reasonable expectation for days on market. You will see we put a lot of data into our proprietary statistical models to prepare and present this report. You can also access the public-facing information off the MLS at joe-richter.com under the navigation link Predefined Community Listings. This report focuses on Woodbridge single-family homes. It covers the period from January 1st through May 31st, 2020. The monthly headline is New Listings Fall, then Bounce, then Fall Again. Woodbridge SFRs are the only community of the 14 we monitor that hit a bottom, bounced, and then fell again. Of the 11 of the other 13 communities were up. The other two communities trended level. Much less volatility than what we're seeing in Woodbridge at the moment. As promised, we always define the market type. Currently, the Woodbridge single-family home market is a seller's market with 2.2 months of inventory. Chapman University defines a buyer's market in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. Monitoring the active listing provides us insight into trends that may be developing that impact home values and inventory levels. There are currently 8 active listings. There were 9 in our last report. There were 11 new listings over the past 90 days. 5 of those are still on the market. 2 were new listings in May, quite low for Woodbridge in May. Next, we will be giving detail on the 3 essential steps of selling and buying. Step 1, new listing reflects a willing seller. Step 2, contract written, reflects a willing buyer. And closings is the execution of the technical aspects of the purchase contract by the buyer with lender cooperation. New listings are down 20% compared to the same period in 2019. Contracts written are up 12% and closings are down 8%. As we just noted, new listings are down compared to last year. The Woodbridge single-family home market made a nice rebound in April but gave it all back in May. Pay attention to this graph over the next 60 days. On the positive side, Fannie Mae is forecasting very strong third and fourth quarters. Contracts written are running 12% above the same period in 2019. This is due primarily to strong January and February in 2020. Being much stronger than the same period in 2019, which was frankly weak. However, a review of the column graph will show that 2019 was by far the weakest year of the prior 5 years. Closed sales are ahead of 2019 by 8% for the same period, again largely attributed to 2019 being the weakest of the prior 5 years. January and February in 2020 were about normal. Home values are understandably the most important subject for sellers. The good news is, in Woodbridge, the single-family home values are running 2.6% above 2019. The average current list price for all the active listings is $1,335,000. The range of the active listings is from $998,000 to $1,598,000. Recent closings are important because they are used as the primary metric to define pricing in appraisals and CMAs. Depending on the amount of information available, a look-back period of 90 to 180 days is typically used to obtain sufficient data to make the appraisal estimate. We always use a 90-day look-back period because our markets are robust. We do our reports every 30 days, and the shorter period reduces the distortion seasonality has on the data. For instance, looking back 6 months right now would mean we would have November and December data in our assumptions, and that would be totally irrelevant to today's market. Over the past 90 days, 5 homes have closed. 3 homes closed below the revised asking price, 1 home sold at the revised asking price, and 1 home sold above the revised asking price. Days on market is the time from activating the listing on the MLS to getting an offer accepted and a purchase contract signed. As listing brokers, we always advise in a normal market the DOM time should be 30 to 45 days and always strongly encourage pricing accordingly. Currently, the DOM for all active listings is 73 days. It was 46 days in our last report at the end of April. We should point out that the DOM for the homes that have closed so far this year is 38 days. This means those early sales were occurring much faster than sales are occurring today. Inventory levels are the determining factor in defining a market type as either a seller or buyer's market. And Chapman University defines a buyer's market here in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. There are several components that make up inventory levels: DOM, as we just discussed it, and inventory trends, which we'll be discussing next. The current inventory level is 2.2 months. It was 2.4 months in our April report. I should point out that when we talk about inventory levels, we're talking about the annual or year-over-year inventory levels. However, following the 90-day rule, we have to monitor inventory, and it's currently 4.8 months. It has literally doubled from 2.4 months over the last 30 days. Does that suggest something? As we just mentioned, inventory trends are important to monitor so that we can forecast what inventory levels may be, which direction they may be headed. 90-day trends will give us a sense of a surge in new contracts or new listings. Currently, the 90-day inventory rose 33%. Year-over-year inventory levels help us understand how steady, dependable a market is. Year-over-year inventory is down 47%. And monitoring the month-to-month comparison lets us check for abnormalities in seasonal trends. The May 2020 inventory compared to the May 2019 is down 66%. As you've seen now, we crunch a lot of data. We get the data used in these reports direct from the MLS, as mentioned above, You have access to the public-facing information, all the listing details. We have a bunch of saved surface searches, so we are always comparing the same data set. We put the raw data into our proprietary statistical model. No one else has this presentation. These are the thumbnails that come as part of the map. The thumbnail includes summary information. Click on any thumbnail to see the full detail on the MLS. As you've seen, we put all of our data into tables so we can make it presentable. This is the table that contains the current active listings. And this is the table that shows everything that has closed so far in Woodbridge this year. Rather skinny. So, finally, the last bit of detail. This chart shows the value range of all the closings. The red dot represents the closed price. The gray dot represents the original list price of the same transaction. Notice most of the gray dots are above the red dot, indicating a price reduction. However, there are usually several gray dots below the red dot which show a price increase. In closing, we would like to say thank you for patiently listening. We have tried to make this a high-level explanation of how the market is evolving. If you need help with your real estate needs or just have questions about forbearance or prices or DOM, anything at all, please contact me. The team I work with would love to be of service. Again, thank you very much.